On June 11th, 2016, Nintendo Treehouse at E3 would announce what would honestly be one of the biggest Pokemon bombshells in the modern era.
And so what that means for Pokemon Sword and Shield is that players will be able to transfer their Pokemon from Pokemon Home only if they appear in the Galar region Pokedex.
That's right. Only Pokemon in the regional decks of Sword and Shield would be coded into the game, creating what we now know as today as Dexit. Over the course of Sword and Shield's lifespan, more Pokemon would be added via DLC, the Crown Tundra and the Armor of Isle. However, not all Pokemon would make the cut, and this trend would continue with the release of Scarlet and Violet, where only the Pokemon coded into the game and some home unreleased mons were available. Of course, home took like its time to like actually have functionality. I feel like that thing kept getting delayed. Like, damn. This is a $1 billion indie company, by the way. But this trend would continue, and we would get more Pokemon with the release of the Teal Mask and the Treasures, the Crown Tundra, the Treasures. What's their second DLC called? I don't know. I don't remember it anymore. The Indigo Disc. I remembered, guys. I didn't have to pause the recording to Google it, okay? Definitely did. But essentially now, all of the Pokemon that we'll have for the rest of this game's lifespan are released. And that just had me wondering, what unreleased Pokemon would have done good in VGC? And then I remembered I can yap about this. I also remembered I can make a video about this. This is going to be a video about this. So without further ado, five unreleased Pokemon that would save VGC. Number 1, Tapu Fini. Maybe the boat has sailed for Tapu Fini, especially with the advent of single restricted and regulation G. But Fini would have been honestly a game changer, and if it came out anywhere from D to F. You know, these regulations brought a slew of new like meta staples. Regulation D bringing Urshifu, Landorus, Rillaboom, where E brought Ogerpon and Blood Moon, and F brought the king of VGC, Incineroar, and the de facto setup Pokemon in Raging Bolt, right? And like, because of all these introductions, like grassy terrain would essentially go uncontested, as psychic terrain teams could just not really keep up. And the combination of Fake Out and Urshifu would break the metagame for the rest of Generation 9, honestly. And Raging Bolt, like I said, de facto setup mon to define regulation F, right? But you know what? Water Fairy mon that can contest grassy terrain, be able to wall the likes of Urshifu and Incineroar, deal super effective damage to 6 of the 7 Pokemon I mentioned, while neutering the dragon damage of one of them? Come on, I'll take a moment. You got this. Did you say Tapu Fini? Yippee! Woohoo! Go pat yourself on the back. You're smart. I mess with you. This is why you are viewing this video, because we are engaging together. Yeah, I think Tapu Fini would have saved this metagame. With access to items like Covert Cloak and Lefties, it would have been an amazing Calm Minder. It can also have been one of the few Pokemon fairy types that can contest Fluttermane's dominance, something that we wouldn't see until Regulation G, where Whimsicott and Clefairy took up some fairy usage, right? Even with a respectable base 95 special attack, y'all, you can even run specs to have that immediate pressure. And honestly, it just sucks knowing that we'll never be able to experience a metagame where Tapu Fini exists in Generation 9. Number 2, Tapu Koko. Whoa. Put the guns down. I already know what you're thinking. I'm thinking it too. Another Tapu. What's next? Tapu Lele? Hey, and I'm just gonna say, I promise that is not the case. Tapu Koko will be the last Tapu for this video. If you want to see a part 2, maybe you can work something out. How about you comment below, where's Tapu Lele? And if this gets enough traction, a part 2 will be included. And you know what? Tapu Lele will be there somewhere, because I think Tapu Lele would also save the meta. But that's not here. nor dare. Koko is definitely a Pokemon that the boat may have sailed for, but with the inception of Paradox Bonds, the ancient Pokemon have thrived ever since Regulation B, with stuff like Lilligant Torkoal Protospam being one of the first teams of this archetype to pop up. And Regulation C, with the introduction of Chi-Yu, this style would see even more play, and I would even use a manual Sun Protospam to hit a strong top 16 finish. This would make me feel bad for the future Pokemon counterparts, where the reward for manual electric terrain was just not high enough, and the only Pokemon with Electric Surge being available and legal was Pincurchin? Yeah, so while Protospam thrived, Quark Scam would be confined to a low ladder gimmick. And I can't help but think how cool it would be if Koko came out and created a brand new archetype to use. Bundle being a common Regulation B Pokemon can finally forego the boosted energy and run Focus Sash, and Iron Jugulus would be able to be a fast Tailwinder and damage mitigator. Treads, Hands, and even Valiant would find themselves used more as Pokemon that would finally have abilities to go with their relatively high BST. And we saw some of this in Regulation G with Miraidon, but I think it would have been cool to have in Regulations D, E, F, and any future ones allowing legendaries. Koko, being another strong fairy Pokemon, can also contest the dominance and chokehold Flutter had on the fairy type since Regulation B. And outside of just contesting that in Clark Drive, Koko's terrain would also be cool in boosting electric type damage, making it a cool pivot mod with Volt Switch, and even a strong physical attacker for 1 or 2. Electric terrain also having the added benefit of being much wanted Amoonguss counterplay, just like its sister Tapu Fini with Misty Terrain. Number 3, Mega Mawile. Yeah, a Mega Pokemon in a gen with no Megas. And honestly, if you have a problem with that, take it up with the person who made the video. Wait, that's me. Take it up with me. Go in that comment section. I got hands, we can throw them. Generation 9 brought us the cutest lovable fluffball Steel Fairy and Tinkaton, and I remember being so excited for this Pokemon competitively, only to be met with disappointment. Tinkaton had everything from Gigaton Hammer to the amazing moves to one of the best typings in the game, and then you see its stats and you shed a tear. Its signature move being a balance decision when they decided to give it such a pitiful base attack, which, by the way, when they gave Ursaluna 135 special attack and Blood Moon a reskinned Gigaton Hammer. Mawile on its own would be an even weaker and unviable Tinkaton with Intimidate, but with access to its Megastone would not only be a decent Intimidator, but a mod that can push on the gas pedal as it goes from 85 defense, 55 special defense, to a Pokemon sporting 125 defense and 95 speed F, a nice 105 attack stat boosted further by huge power. I have always been fascinated with Mega Mawile's design, and I can't stress how much the meta yearns for a fairy type that can contest the dominance Flutter had over this typing. Being an Intimidator, Mawile could bring crucial damage mitigation the format would have loved since before the inception of Incineroar. Another Pokemon that could have paired next to even the likes of Chien-Pao, and also a speed that would allow it to be played on both Trick Room and Tailwind teams alike. Honestly, every day I pray that we get a Fairy Steel that could be meta relevant and usable all year round, and not just it being Zacian. Number 4, Kartana. It was at this point in my research that I went, wow, a lot of Gen 7's heavy hitters did not make it into Scarlet and Violet. Wonder what's that about? But anyway, Kartana is just a very interesting Pokemon with some of the most goofiest stat spreads known to man, boasting a dummy high 181 base attack and a special defense stat of, well, it's like flammable paper. No, like seriously, Ember from like Charmander can KO this guy. But with the unique Grass Steel typing and the ability to one-hit KO the likes of Iron Bundle, Chi-Yu, Fluttermane, Kartana would have been a welcome addition on any Tailwind Hyper Offense team. Beast Boost is also just kind of a really cracked ability, granting an attack boost on every knockout, creating a Pokemon that can snowball very fast, whether you are Sash, 252 attack maxing, or even Assault Vest, as this Pokemon naturally has 200 attack points uninvested. Number 5, Yveltal. Regulation G ended about a month ago and will be back this coming January. The main attraction of that format happened to be both Calyrex Shadow and Ice, doing insane damage, and it's even easier to do so when Daddy Dark-type, that's Yveltal, isn't even in the game. The Destruction Pokemon boasts sets that can OHKO both horses, forcing them to Terra. Yveltal also provides another playstyle that is missing from VGC in Dark Aura spam. Dark Aura, Yveltal's signature ability, boosts Dark-type attacks by 33%, and when paired with Chi-Yu or Chien-Pao, the damage ranges on both sides of the spectrum would be insane. When it's not mashing dark damage, this Pokemon only gets better with double restricted, as it's one of the perfect supporting Mons with Ubers that need help versus the horses, like Koraidon, or Mons suffering versus fighting types, like Terrapagos. And there you have it, that's five Pokemon that I believe would save VGC. If you have any other Pokemon that you just kind of miss or think would be really good had they had a chance in Gen 9, please put it in the comment section below. If you like this type of content, please sub. I'm really trying to start releasing videos weekly. If you're wondering where Mofongo Monday is, we're revamping Mofongo Monday, so every other Monday, so it's gonna be bi-weekly. We're gonna be playing on cart, and it's gonna be fully edited videos there too. So Mofongo Monday lovers, look forward to next Monday. Every other week, when there isn't a Mofongo Monday, there's gonna be a video like this. So if you like to see more stuff like this, good news, bi-weekly you're gonna see more stuff like this. Pocket shorts, I'm gonna be doing a lot more pocket shorts throughout the week, and maybe like another Yap style video or like for fun video towards the end of the week, because I still want to try to get 2 videos a week, but 1 guaranteed video a week, a short guaranteed, and then me being silly goofy throughout the rest of the week. Other than that, I'm honestly looking forward to all this, and I truly love that I'm allowed to do this. So thank you all, thank you for watching, and I'll be back in the next one.